Alright boys, welcome back to another Maybe Lewis MMA UFC prediction video. So tomorrow we got Evloev versus Lerone Murphy in London, boys. Pretty good card. Pretty solid fight. So I'm gonna give you my predictions. Let's jump right into it, boys. So first fight of the night we got Shanelle Dyer versus Ravena Oliveira. I don't know either of these fighters. I searched up Shanelle Dyer. She was on the Contender Series and lost, but she was in the PFL before. She had some wins there. Oliveira is 0-2 in the UFC. She lost her last fight by submission. So, Shanelle Dyer, she's from England. She's going to have home field advantage. It's looking like striker versus grappler because the grappling stats are in favor of Oliveira for takedowns and then the striking's for Shanelle Dyer. So I'm going to go Shanelle Dyer in this one by decision, boys. So next up, boys, we got Shamrock versus Abdul-Kareem Al-Selwady. So Shamrock lost his debut. I'm pretty sure his debut was short notice versus some 11-0 Russian. They set him up in that one, boys. But Shamrock's striking and his defense look pretty bad, not gonna lie. He looks like he can't really defend off the back foot and strike in general, but maybe it was just a bad performance. But Abdul-Kareem Al-Selwady hasn't fought since 2024 and his debut, but he got knocked out. So I've seen some Al-Selwady. He's really aggressive. He's a decent striker. He's pretty good at grappling. He's like really well-rounded. Whereas Shamrock, he's more of a grappler. He has a lot of wins. I'm pretty sure most of his wins are by submission. I'm guessing in this one, Shamrock, obviously, home court advantage as well. I'm going to take Shamrock by decision. I think that first performance, it was probably just a bad performance. Abdul-Kareem's pretty mid. I don't think Shamrock's that great either, but I do think he's better than Abdul to win by decision. So next up, we got some heavyweights, boys. We got Louie Sutherland versus Brando Pericic. So Brando Pericic just made his debut, I'm pretty sure. Back in September, he got a knockout win in round 1, yep. And I'm pretty sure he was on the Contender Series as well. He's 5-1. Pretty sure all the wins are by knockout. Louie Sutherland lost his debut to Walter Walker. He was supposed to fight like Junior Taffa or something, but he looks so slow, man. I don't know. I think he was on steroids or something before whatever promotion he was in. Because he has like crazy pictures of before where he looks really jacked and now he just looks like fat. So I'm pretty sure he was on steroids, but I think Brando Pericic is going to be too fast for him, too powerful, and get him out of there in round 1 with a knockout. Sutherland, I don't know. He looked really slow versus Walter Walker, and I think just Pericic is going to speed mog him and knock him out pretty quickly. So next up, we got Montas Kondratavicius versus Antonio Trocoli, the punching bag. So Trocoli is basically like a stepping stone for prospects at this point. Lost to Shar Bullet, lost to Trayshawn Gore, and lost to Abdul Malik, all in the first round. Shar finished him in round 3, but Abdul Malik and Gore submitted him in 1 minute in the first round. But the guy just kind of sucks at fighting. I don't know. I really think he's just there for people to make their debut against and look good. And that's exactly what Montas Kondratavicius is going to do. He was on the Contender Series. I'm pretty sure he got a first round knockout. He's 8-1, 6 wins by knockout. So I got him. My first lock of the night, boys. He's going to knock out Antonio Trocoli in round 1. First lock of the night, boys. Next up, boys, we got Mario Pinto versus Felipe Franco. So Pinto, he was supposed to fight Mick Parkin, I'm pretty sure, on this card, but Parkin pulled out. And then Felipe Franco's obviously stepping in his debut. Pretty sure he lost his Contender Series fight in like round 3 submission or something. But Franco's like a round 1 or bust fighter. He's like Michael Chandler. He either gets a knockout in round 1 or he loses. He looked like he gassed terribly after his round 1 flurry. And then Pinto, obviously, he's really well-rounded. I I think of Pinto very highly in the heavyweight division. He's very well-rounded. Obviously, he knocked out Austen Lane, knocked out Jonata Denise, both in round 2. But yeah, he's a good grappler, good striker, and he's really tall. He's 11-0, undefeated, 7 wins by knockout. So I'm thinking Mario Pinto gets this one done. He's gonna sleep Felipe Franco. I say in round 2, 3. Maybe round 1, obviously heavyweight, can never tell, but I got Mario Pinto knockout, boys. Now this is a banger, boys. We got Nathaniel Wood versus the debuting Losene Keita. So Nathaniel Wood last fight robbed Jose Delgado horribly. He beat Morgan Charrier, beat Daniel Pineda. So he's on a little 3-fight winning streak. Nathaniel Wood's very well-rounded, very solid fighter, does get hit a lot, gets dropped in most of his fights. Whereas Losene Keita, he's making his debut, but we've all been hearing about him for a while now. He's 16-1, 10 wins by knockout, 5 first-round finishes. The Black Panther, he was in like Octagon. He was like a double champ or champion or something. I've watched a lot of his fights. I've seen a lot of his highlights on TikTok. Man, this guy's fast and powerful. He doesn't throw much, but when he does, he sleeps guys. And Nathaniel Wood being susceptible to getting hit a lot, it's not looking very good. I know he's the favorite, but a lot of people think Nathaniel Wood got this one. Keita has 3 inches in height on him. And I think Keita's going to be too fast and too powerful for Nathaniel Wood. I think he's the real deal, honestly. He could go pretty far in featherweight. Obviously, they had him to debut against Pitbull, top 15 ranking. Obviously, he missed the weight, so they gave him like Nathaniel Wood. But I'm going to take Losene Keita. I think he gets a round 1 knockout in this one, boys. Nathaniel Wood just gets hit too much for my liking, and if he gets hit by Losene Keita, he's going out, boys. Keita's too powerful and too fast with the hands. So yeah, I got Keita by a round 1 knockout. Now for the last fight on the prelims, boys, I'm predicting right now this is going to be fight of the night. These guys are going to go to war, I'm pretty sure, and slug it out. But Mason Jones versus Axel Sola. So Mason Jones just got back in the UFC, I think, versus Jeremy Stevens. I think that was his return fight. And then he beat Balaji Oki. He finished him in round 2. But yeah, he was out of the UFC for 3 years after losing to Ludwig Klein. But he looked really good versus Stevens. Obviously, Stevens is a tough guy. It's going to be hard to get out of there. But Jones just picked him apart. He did get hit a few times, but I'm pretty sure he won 30-27 pretty unanimously. But yeah, he's pretty good. He has a lot of talent. He's a great striker. He has good teep. He has good hands. And then he has great takedown defense as well. Whereas Axel Sola, I think this is his... no, this isn't his debut. He finished McGee in his debut. But he's good as well. I think these guys, honestly, are just going to go out there and slug it. But I think Mason Jones is better all around. So I think he could control it more at his pace. But Sola might just... he's undefeated, so he might just, like, make it scrappy. But I got Mason Jones. I think he got this one by decision, boys. Now, for the first fight on the main card, boys, we got Kurtis Campbell versus Danny Silva. So I remember seeing Kurtis Campbell on the Contender Series. I watched that one, but let me just pull him up really quick. I think he won it by submission. Oh, he got a TKO in like 1 minute. But yeah, the guy's pretty good. He's pretty well-rounded all around. And Danny Silva, I think his last fight was Kevin Vallejos. Only got to not get finished by Vallejos, by the way, in the UFC so far. I'm pretty sure that was a close fight. I don't remember exactly, but I think it was a close fight. But I think Kurtis Campbell, he's pretty good. 8-0. Danny Silva's a pretty good striker as well. But I'm going to take Kurtis Campbell in this one by decision. I just think he's better all around. I think he could really just dictate the fight where he wants. If he wants to strike, he's going to strike. If he wants to take Silva down, he'll take him down. But I got Kurtis Campbell winning his debut by decision, boys. Now, next fight on the main card, boys. We got Roman Dolidze versus CLD Christian Leroy Duncan. So Dolidze, last fight, got brutalized by Fluffy. I think he lost before that as well. No, he beat Marvin Vettori before that. But I don't know. Like, he took a real, like, steep drop down his last fight. Like, he didn't look like anything before. I don't think Fluffy's some eater of worlds, as what I used to think based on that Strickland performance. It was just a bad matchup for Fluffy, but he drowned Dolidze terribly. He ate his best shots, was walking him down, taking him down at will. He submitted him, obviously, but Dolidze looked so slow. Couldn't defend nothing, really. And then Christian Leroy Duncan's, obviously, he's on like a 3-fight win streak. I think he's coming into his own right now, boys. He's on a 3-fight win streak. Pulayev knocked out Anders and knocked out Tulio, which was an insane knockout. But yeah, this guy's powerful, great striker. I honestly think he's a better grappler than Roman Dolidze too, if it gets there. But Dolidze's just too old, man. Too old, too slow for CLD. I think CLD gets him out of there round 2 or 3 by knockout, maybe even round 1. Just too powerful, too fast for Dolidze. He just looked really slow versus Fluffy. And yeah, I got CLD TKOing Roman Dolidze, say round 2 or 3. Now, next fight, boys. We got Iwo Baraniewski versus Austen. Also, the placement of these fights on the card are weird. I don't know. I feel like some should be over others, but obviously Iwo won his debut in that crazy barn burner versus Iwo Aslan, and then Austen Lane. I don't even know how this guy's in the UFC, man. I also think he's like a stepping stone for prospects at this point as well. He got knocked out by Tafa. He got knocked out by Denise. He beat Robelis to Spain, but that was just like laying on him. Obviously, the Spain can't grapple for shit. But Austen Lane beat Robelis to Spain. But then he got knocked out by Pinto, submitted by Petrino. So I also think he's just like a stepping stone for prospects as well, man. And that's exactly what they're hoping for here with Iwo. I think Iwo gets it done, man, by round 1 knockout. He's my second lock of the night, boys. We'll see, though. Like, with Lane, we saw how he was versus Spain, where he survived that flurry and then took him down. I don't know if he could do the same to Baraniewski, obviously. He's coming down from heavyweight. I don't know how. This guy's 6'6" and cut to 205. That's not going to be good for him either. I think Iwo's just going to blitz him. He's going to be too fast and get him out of there in round 1. Iwo Baraniewski is my second lock of the night, boys. Now for the featured fight on the main card, boys. We got such a weird fight. Michael Page versus Sam Patterson. Now, I don't know who Michael Page pissed off in the UFC's matchmaking room, but this guy, so his debut, he beats Kevin Holland easily. Loses to Machado Gary. It was a pretty close fight as well. Takes Shara Bullets and then styles on Gerald Cannonier last August in Chicago. And then they give him Sam Patterson, who's on a win streak, yeah, but, like, I don't know. Sam Patterson, I could see him getting a shot into the rankings, but versus MVP, he's on a 4-fight win streak after losing his debut, and they're all by finish. But I'm so confused with this matchmaking. I feel like Michael Page could have got a way better fight at welterweight than having to defend his ranking now. I just think I don't think the UFC likes his fight style and how he taunts people, and I think he talked crazy about fighter pay, so they're just giving him this matchup. But I think this is a clear and easy win for Michael Page. Sam Patterson, he's good in his own right, but I just think this is too high of a jump in comp for him. He's like, Michael Page made some of the best fighters in the world at the top of their divisions. Looked clueless on the feet. Obviously, the grappling is a bit iffy for MVP, but I just don't think Sam Patterson's that guy to do it to Michael Page. He gets hit too much. I think Michael Page could just do what he always does. Be out at range, blast a few overhands, crack Patterson. I could low-key see MVP, his first finish in the UFC, just because Patterson gets hit way too much. But besides that, I got MVP by decision. He's going to be able to keep the range. He's going to be able to defend the takedowns. I don't know what this matchup is, man. He pissed someone off in the UFC's matchmaking room. That's all I'm going to say. But I got MVP. 30-27 decision. Now, for the co-main event of the evening, boys, this is actually a pretty good one. Luke Riley versus Michael Aswell Jr. So, Riley won his debut. He was in the Cage Warriors, then he came for his debut versus Bogdan Guzkov. No. Let me get his name right. Bogdan Guzkov is crazy. But Bogdan Grad. He knocked him out in round 2 after the first round where he was just... It was the grappling, he was getting held down really by Bogdan. But he got that done. Michael Aswell, he lost, I'm pretty sure, his debut to, Baraniewski. And he beat Almeida, but Almeida had a broken hand going into this one. I think we all knew that. So Aswell just easily got a first-round knockout versus him. But as well, I just don't think Aswell is as good as people think he is. I saw some old footage of his fights as well. He gets hit too much. His only win in the UFC is versus a guy who had a broken hand, and he lost to Baraniewski, which Baraniewski's a pretty decent fighter as well. But if you're good, I don't know. I don't want to sound like a dickhead saying this, but if you're good at fighting, you're gonna beat Baraniewski. But yeah, I just think Luke Riley's faster, more powerful. Aswell gets hit too much. I got Luke Riley round 2 knockout. I think he's gonna find that shot. Luke Riley's too slick with the hands. Aswell is a pretty good striker as well, but his only win in the UFC is against a guy with a broken hand, and he lost to Baraniewski. So give me Luke Riley by round 2 knockout. Now, boys, for the main event of the evening, someone's O has got to go, boys. Movsar Evloev versus Lerone Murphy. So Movsar, obviously, it's been a while since he fought. I'm pretty sure it would have been 2 years in October. Last fight was versus Aljamain Sterling. But before that, he beat Arnold Allen, beat Diego Lopez, beat Dan Ige. So been fighting high comp as well. Whereas Lerone Murphy, obviously he got that spinning elbow, sick knockout versus Aaron Pico. And then, come on. He beat Josh Emmett, beat Dan Ige, beat Barboza. But this is classic striker versus grappler, boys. And I think, Lerone Murphy, his takedown defense is pretty bad, man. It's 51%. And I honestly think Movsar is going to be able to ragdoll Lerone Murphy. It's just the level of comp they've fought is like, Movsar's up here, and then Lerone Murphy's down here. Like, Movsar fought Aljamain Sterling, Arnold Allen, Diego Lopez, and Dan Ige, I'm pretty sure. Lerone Murphy has fought Josh Emmett, Aaron Pico, and who is the other guy he fought? Dan Ige and Barboza. So, like, the competition level that they have fought is just too wide of a margin. This is like a major test for Lerone Murphy, honestly. This is his first real major opponent and major test. And I just think Movsar's grappling is going to be too much for Lerone Murphy. Movsar had a great fight with Aljamain Sterling where he was able to, it was a wrestling match, really. And I don't think Lerone Murphy's on the level of Aljamain Sterling's grappling. So Movsar, I just think, is going to ragdoll Murphy this whole fight. This is going to be like Islam versus JDM. This is going to be like Khamzat versus DDP, I feel like, where just Movsar is just going to be laying on him the whole time. And I hope it doesn't go that way, but that's honestly how I see this fight playing out. I got Movsar by decision. He's my third lock. I think he wins this for sure. But yeah, I hope it doesn't turn out like that. I hope Lerone Murphy is able to keep this fight on the feet, get his striking going. But I honestly that's how I see this fight going. Movsar just lays on him for 25 minutes. But yeah, boys, that's my predictions for this card. Let me know what y'all think down below. Let me know your predictions. Hope y'all enjoy this card, boys. And yeah, look out for my next prediction video next week, boys. Peace.